we just saw Google Bard make a stunning leap in capabilities. It actually just beat out a version of GPT-4 on a top leaderboard that evaluates AI models. Now, this leaderboard comes from an organization called the Large Model Systems Organization, and it shows that Bard, using Google's Gemini Pro model, is now in second place in terms of performance when compared to a range of popular AI models. Now, this leaderboard in particular takes into account, it says 200,000 plus human votes on which models users prefer. And it also assigns what's called an ELO rating to each model, which is a widely used method of calculating how good players are at zero-sum games like chess. It's pretty popular in rating chess players. Now, Bard still trails behind GPT-4 Turbo, but it now surpasses other versions of GPT-4 and other popular models like Claude and Mistral. Now, at the same time, we've also seen some rumblings online that Google may be soon releasing an advanced version of Bard that you have to pay for. Now, this is unconfirmed at the moment, but it sounds like Google is hard at work kind of recapturing some of the lead when it comes to the AI model arms race. Now, Paul, first up, can you talk to us a bit about the legitimacy of the Large Model Systems Organization's leaderboard? It is one of the leading benchmarks out there for AI models. Like, why is that?
It's actually a site I wasn't familiar with until recently, honestly. So the way this works is, to see how powerful these different models are, usually we wait around for a research paper that comes out and does evaluations and compares them to some human standard of whatever test it is that they're evaluating against. Those can be biased. It can be affected by how the prompting was done. Like, there's lots of different reasons why those are hard, and often they're outdated. So you'll see a big research that comes out and says these models can or can't do something. And then you read the fine print. It's like, oh, they did this research in July of 2023 when they weren't even using the most powerful model that's out today, kind of thing. So this leaderboard, it's called the Chatbot Arena, is open source research project developed by, you mentioned LMSYS, but also UC Berkeley Skylab. So they say their mission is to build an open source platform to collect human feedback and evaluate LLMs under real world scenarios. And I actually went to the site. It's fun. So we'll put the link in the show notes, but it's arena.lmsys.org. And so they have arena battles, and what it does, like, I went in and played around with it last night. You can it'll blind which two models you're going to use, but you give it a prompt and then it gives you two outputs, and then you rank which one is better, whether it's a tie, whether they're both bad, or which one's better. And that's how this is done. It's actually human rating of outputs. And so you can do an arena battle where you just, like, you don't know which model is producing which thing. You just say which one you like, and then it reveals for you which model was which. Or you can do a side by side. So if you want to go in and see Gemini Pro versus GPT-4 Turbo, you can give it the same prompt and it gives you the output. And then there's also a leaderboard tab. So again, really cool site. The reason it surfaced for me was two tweets last week. So this new leaderboard came out January 26th. So there was a lot of buzz in my kind of alerts feed, all the AI influencers that I follow and trust. So one was Oriol Vinales, I think. He works at Google DeepMind. And so he had tweeted that evaluation of LLMs is very hard and nuanced, especially academic evals, which are leaked massively. Evals that rely on human judgment are far superior. So it feels good that Bard Gemini Pro, the free tier, climbed pretty high on this leaderboard. And then he actually teased, looking forward to Gemini Ultra release. Ultra is coming soon, hashtag. That was the first thing when I saw this. I was like, oh, this is fascinating. Like, not only did it jump to number 2, this isn't the most powerful version of Gemini. Like, we know Gemini Ultra is pending release. And so you gotta think that that's probably going to maybe take that leap and get ahead of GPT-4, which was the big question mark. The other one that caught my attention was our guy, Andrej Karpathy, who we talk about a lot, OpenAI researcher, former head of AI at Tesla. And he said, in a reply to someone else's tweet, he said, I pretty much only trust two LLM evals right now, Chatbot Arena, and there was a Reddit one, Local Llama comments section. So if Andrej says, Chatbot Arena is the place to look at, then I trust that this is a extremely legitimate LLM ranking system.
Right.
So worth paying attention to. My main takeaway is I got to try Bard again, because I went to look and say, well, which version is this? And so on the bard.google.com site, there's a /updates page that, again, we'll put in the show notes. And so this version of Bard Gemini Pro went into Bard on, it looks like December 6th. So they said Bard is getting its biggest upgrade yet with Gemini Pro. Starting today, we're introducing Gemini Pro and Bard for Bard's biggest upgrade yet. We specifically tuned Gemini Pro to be far more capable at things like understanding, summarizing, reasoning, coding, and planning. So yeah, I mean, I think if anything, we've always said, like, I've been hard on Bard personally. It's not been on par with, ChatGPT, but I've also said I wouldn't bet against Google ever in this arena. And I'm very anxious to not only try it again now, but to see what happens when Gemini Ultra becomes a thing.
So, what kind of steps should business leaders and professionals be taking in light of this news? Like, should people be switching to Bard now?
Yeah, I mean, the way you and I approach this, and I think the way we always teach this, is you have to constantly be testing. And this is why it is so hard to make bets on which platform to use and which ones to integrate into your workflows, because they keep evolving as to which is best for which use cases. So I think you have to have a culture of always testing. And again, not everyone in your company needs to be testing. Like, at some point you have to say, okay, you're all using this system for these use cases. Here's the templates. Here's the sample prompts. Like, go do your thing. But you
Hmm.
need to have a component of your team, maybe it's within your AI council, who are regularly testing Claude, Bard, ChatGPT, whatever the tools are, against the common use cases within your organization. So if you're using it for script writing and blog posts and summarization and like whatever your common use cases are, someone on your team needs to, every 30 days or so, or 90 days, or whenever the leaderboard changes, go in and run those use case tests against the different systems and see if someone has made a leap forward that changes the kind of technology the rest of your team should be using.